Hey, welcome back everyone. Arizona Unplugged channel. No, I'm not in Arizona. I'm in my van, heading to town, San Diego, to get some work done. I got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of jobs going on right now. I need to get wrapped up here in the next few days. But I wanted to make this video, guys. If you look in the description box, there's a link to a channel here on YouTube. Solo homesteader. I forgot the guy's name. I just found him literally this morning. Just kind of going through YouTube videos during breakfast. I just found this guy. He's in southeast Arizona, around Bisbee area. I believe Tombstone down there, real close to the Mexican border. And check him out. Again, the link is in the description box. A couple of videos of his that I watched this morning. He talked about why you should, 5 reasons why you should consider the area that he's at if you want a homestead. It was a good video. He's going to make another one, 5 or 6 or 7 reasons why you shouldn't. So you can see he's balanced. You know, there's no perfect place. So it's cool that he brought it out that way. But he described his journey when he bought his property and how he went about it. So I just want to make a quick video about that as well. I'm sure I'm going to do another more detailed video about this. There's a lot of people out there, guys. This movement is huge. A lot of people are getting out of the cities, out of the suburbs, out of the blue areas, and moving and off-gridding, doing their homestead thing in more rural, red state areas, such as yours truly. If you're new here, this channel is basically our documentary of myself, my family, our journey to live off-grid, to get our homestead going. We purchased property in northern Arizona about 5 or 6 years ago, somewhere around there. And we are rebuilding, repurposing, creating different systems in order for us to live out there. And we're this close, guys. We're actually sometime this week I gotta buy paint. We're that close. So I want to describe our journey, but very briefly. This is not going to be a very long video. If you guys are thinking about purchasing off-grid rural land and starting a homestead, here's some tips for you. And I'm going to just tell you guys what we did, what worked out well, and what to expect. So here we go. Off-grid homestead. Number 1, 9 times out of 10, if you have off-grid rural property where there's no services, there's no roads, there's no sewer, there's no power lines above your head. It is just raw land, like where we're at in Arizona. I mean, it's 20 miles when you get off of the pavement to get to our place. 20 miles of dirt roads and mountains and this and that. It's rural. So places like that, not all the time, but most of the time, banks don't want to touch that. Why? Because there's not as much equity in a raw piece of land than there is a piece of land that has utilities, that has structure, you know, a house, a building, or whatever, well, septic, power, that type of thing. And it's in the bank's best interest not to finance places like that. For example, if I go out and a bank gives me a check to buy a piece of raw property and I get foreclosed on for whatever reason, I can't make that monthly payment, it would be hard for the bank, it would be harder for the bank to recoup their losses by reselling that raw land, because it's just not a typical thing. It's not high demand. High demand right now is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a 2 or 3 car garage on a 1/10 of an acre, you know, in a thriving city. That's high demand, right? So banks don't typically like to touch raw land. They don't want to put their money on something like that. So what is your option? If you're thinking about moving off grid, you got to buy land, right? Not everybody has $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 in cash to be able to cash out a property. Here comes the awesome world of owner financed. That's where whoever owns the property, whoever's selling the property, agrees to allow you, the prospective buyer, to pay him monthly payments, typically with interest, in order to carry that note, to hold that note. Basically, the owner that is selling the property is acting as the bank. Hopefully this makes sense. So the property that we bought in northern Arizona was exactly this scenario. The owners lived out of state and very far away. It's like they didn't live in Nevada, you know, the next state over. They didn't live in California or New Mexico. They lived way on the East Coast. So they never came out. And we made our deal. They agreed to carry the note, and it's done. We paid it off. We paid it off a long time ago. We got an excellent deal. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it here because you guys probably won't even believe it. Quick side note. Purchase the book and read the book, The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. If you want to make real estate deals, there's some very good guidance points in there that I actually used while purchasing this property, and boy, did it work out great. It worked out great. So our place is paid for, everything is paid off, we're done, other than taxes, of course, right? Death and taxes. So how do you find the property? First of all, we found ours. Actually, I believe my wife found it. So we went out there to northern Arizona where we were interested in purchasing and homesteading. And we talked to realtors and all that. We checked out the area that we wanted to buy. We checked out quite a few lots. And the one that we found was actually being sold. I believe my wife found it on Craigslist. I don't remember because it was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't remember where she found it. But she found it. It was being advertised by a realtor in a close by town. Well, not really close by, a few hours away. And I got a hold of the realtor. We talked. We were able to get permission to stay on the property for a few nights. We went camping. We just wanted to see what it was like in that area and that time of year and that, you know, that type of thing. So we got permission from the owners to actually camp on the property, check it out, walk it, you know, see if we like it or not. We fell in love with the place, we bought it, and we're good to go. But what you need to understand is if you're buying an owner finance property, the owner has the right to make basically any stipulations he wants. You know, if it's a $10,000 property, he can say, well, it's $10,000 cash, outright, you pay it, it's yours. But if you want me to owner financing, now it's $15,000 and you're paying 10% interest. He's the bank, essentially. He's going to make the rules, and you can either take it or leave it, or negotiate, meet somewhere in the middle. With our particular case, the owners were asking a price, you know, up here. I did my due diligence, my research of the area and the roads and all this stuff, and I was able to negotiate down much, much less than originally advertised for. So we got a great deal, a great piece of property, easy terms. I believe we paid 5% interest, which I think is typical. My ranch here in East County, San Diego, that I sold 8, 9 years ago, something like that, 7 years ago, I carried the note on it. I acted as the bank. So I was paid an interest rate on top of the monthly payments. And it worked out great. It's good for whoever's buying it, if they don't have the best credit, if they don't have a large down payment, anything like that. It just worked out. It worked out for us. I'm not saying that's every case, but in our situation, our case, it worked out. Okay, so there's that. So most likely you're going to have to do an owner finance situation, which don't let that scare you. It's all, well, I guess it can be illegitimate, but if you do it the right way, totally legit. You actually have to go to a brokerage. You have to open up a, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. like a bank account with the land, right? Everything, all the deed, the title to the property, all that stuff is done legitimately, and I highly recommend doing that. Don't just shake a hand and hand over cash with a couple pieces of paper with stuff written. No, don't do that. Go to a brokerage, an escrow company. It's called an escrow. It's like an account. Go through escrow, guys. If you want any word of advice, do it legitimately, the paperwork wise, to cover yourself, the owner. If you're selling a property, go through an escrow. Don't do the handshake, you know, promise this, I promise that type of deal. Get it all in writing, get everything notarized, go through an escrow company, get all that stuff. Do it legitimately. Because if you're buying a place, and you need to remember this, if you're buying a place owner finance, don't think that, oh, I can just skip a payment this month. No, the owner can foreclose on you just like a bank can. They can come there and legally repossess the property. So don't think just because you're owner finance that the rules change, because they don't. You still have to pay. So that being said, it is possible to buy rural land on an owner finance situation like how we did it, and it worked out fine, it worked out great. I never even talked to the owners. I just dealt with our realtor from start to finish. They would send over all the paperwork for us to sign. Some of the stuff we had to get notarized, sent back. It wasn't very difficult, guys. It wasn't difficult. And if you're planning on moving off grid, if you're planning on purchasing rural land in an owner finance situation, there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. It worked out well for us. This is the third time I've had that situation. When I bought my last ranch here in East County, San Diego, I bought it owner financed. The people that bought it from me, I owner financed it. And the people that we bought our Arizona land from, they owner financed it. I haven't had an issue with all three of those times I've dealt with this. I've never had any issues. So don't be afraid of it just because there's no bank involved. As a matter of fact, I highly recommend not using banks or anything like that just because, you know, they're bankers, right? That's just my opinion. But yeah, check out the channel, Solo Homesteader. I just started watching his videos. If you're watching this, shout out to you. Great channel. I really like it. I look forward to seeing more of his videos. But he was bringing out how to purchase land, and I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents in there. Arizona Unplugged. If you're interested, it's right here. Click that subscribe button. If it's something that interests you, if you're interested in off-grid homesteading and all that good stuff, if you're interested in that stuff, that's the channel for you. Now I know I haven't been putting a lot of videos up here. It's just because I'm not there yet. You know, we're just starting. We're almost up to 600 subscribers, which is awesome. Once we actually move out there, believe me guys, the videos are going to be pouring in. I'm just now getting started on it, and since I'm not currently living out there full time, it's kind of hard to make videos out there. But there you go. We are getting very close. Like I said, we're purchasing paint this week for our next trip out there to start painting the outside. A new color, get it all spiffied up. So there you go. I hope all is well with you guys. The times are crazy these days that we're living in. You see society kind of circling the toilet bowl. It's going down, guys, and I hope you have a plan to survive what's coming. And this isn't doomsday anything. It's just be safe, be careful, watch your six, and be prepared for what's about to hit. So if you guys have any questions regarding purchasing raw land, off-grid land, or anything homesteading, shoot it down in the comments. I read every single comment. And there we go. Have a good day, guys. A belated happy Easter. And we'll see you on the next one. Remember to thrive. See ya.